Welcome to the stage, your cruise and travel director, Erin.
A very good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here on the main stage. It's been a pleasure to welcome you on board over these past few days, meet so many of you at the coffee chats or through the EXC talks and just around the ship in general. I have to say, though, as your cruise and travel director, I am only one of nearly 800 and plus team members on board. Now, regardless of the function, department, what we do on board, we all respect, admire, and look up to one man. So please join me in welcoming the master of our vessel to the stage, Captain Ron Byens. I know it sounds pretty grim, but there is good news. There's a lot that we can do to better understand these animals, which will help the oceans, the animals there, and ultimately, ourselves. We can refuse, reduce, recycle, and dispose of trash responsibly. We can support local conservation efforts. Now, for example, David's organization hosts an event called the Tour de Turtles. Every year they hold this mock race to see which turtle travels the furthest in a 3-month period. And I have to say, the amount of food it needed to feed these soldiers was, quite frankly, mind-boggling. Every day, the ship's kitchens went through 240 gallons of milk, 80 bags of flour, over 12,000 eggs, 1,000 pounds of bacon, 14,000 loaves of bread.
Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we'll have Holland America Lines on deck for a cause. Now, this is our signature charity walk that we hold every voyage, and the proceeds go to Direct Relief. This is an organization providing much-needed medical supplies and assistance to the Ukrainian refugees.
First, we have to talk a little bit about how it's made. And not just because it's a pretty cool process, but its development, which could have only happened in the Caribbean, tells us a little bit more about this place. So rum comes down to just 3 ingredients. There's the water, the yeast, and molasses. And it's that molasses part that brings us to the Caribbean. That's because molasses is a natural byproduct of harvesting sugar. And the Caribbean was booming with sugar plantations. Now, the Caribbean is more than just fun in the sun. It's defined by people like Jorge, by fast bowlers and cricketers, by soccer players and Jamaican bobsled teams. It's defined by unbelievable beauty and triumph in the face of adversity. And it's also defined by the pride that its people take in their incredible and complex islands. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.
We do have our own reflecting to do, our own successes, our own failures to celebrate and acknowledge, our own hopes and our dreams for the new year. And we'd love to share all of this with you in one final song all together. I'd like to thank you once again for being here tonight and invite you to join us in singing Silent Night.